And shifting to current events, right now Europe is set to spend a large amount of money on defense. For our viewers, can you explain why that's happening now and the geopolitical impacts that you think it will have in the near future?
So, great question. So, for about 30 years, all American presidents of all political parties have asked Europeans to do more for their defense. Basically, since the end of the Cold War, even a little bit before then, allies really assumed there was no big threat in Europe or around Europe, and so that they could drop their defense spending and just rely on the United States. And over time, many presidents said, well, that's not right. We all have to do our fair share. So finally, what happened in 2014, President Obama said, look, guys, everybody has to spend 2% of your GDP on your own national defense. Let's get everybody up to a baseline of spending. And you've got 10 years to do it, and the clock starts now. Well, then they did some increases under President Obama. They did some increases under President Trump's first term. They did a little bit of increases, or actually a big jump, these last 4 years, mostly because the war in Ukraine really alerted them to the fact that the world is not a safe place. And then again, with President Trump returning, they're increasing again. So we've seen a huge surge in defense spending in Europe. And what this means is not tomorrow, not next year, but over the next 5 to 10 years, Europe and the United States are going to be more on par. And so Europe really won't be our little brother anymore. We won't pat them on the head and say, hey, follow us, and we know everything that you should be doing. I think it's going to bring a different dynamic to the transatlantic relationship where Europeans will feel like our equal. But the good news is they'll be doing more for their own security, which means we can do less and we can focus on other things like China or other challenges around the world. So it's a win-win. We wanted this to happen. They're finally doing it. It's a little late. They should have done it decades ago. But anyways, they're on it and they're really boosting their spending. And literally in the next couple of years, we will see hundreds of billions of euros spent in Europe on defense.